I'm finally back with a review of another DrunkDeer keyboard. This time it's the G75, which I actually got back in August 2024, but I got busy and my life was a mess. It still is, and I wasn't able to make a video about it on time, so that's my bad. DrunkDeer, I'm very sorry. Before we begin, DrunkDeer once again generously sent me this keyboard for free. It's already been a bit modded, but again, the review is not sponsored. I'm not forced to give them like a 10 out of 10 rating. I can say whatever I want about the keyboard, and that goes for future sponsorships. I'll only accept sponsorships if I can give honest feedback for transparency and fairness. Let's start with the price. The G75 sits at $140, but since DrunkDeer is celebrating their 2-year anniversary right now at the time of this video being uploaded, it's currently discounted at $112. Their other first generation keyboards like the A75 Pro are also discounted, so if you're interested on that form factor instead, I'll have my review for that keyboard linked down below, as well as my discount code for the DrunkDeer store at the end of this video. The G75 comes in the usual box with 4 corner protectors, so if your package comes scuffed somehow, blame your courier. As for me, every single keyboard they've sent so far arrived unharmed, so that's pretty awesome. Unboxing is as usual. You get a keycap puller, 5 extra switches, the keyboard itself, and the braided cable. They sent me 2 packs of the silent variants. Yeah, I think there's 2 packs, so I think that's a mistake maybe, but okay, it's cool. I'll check them out. It's a mistake. It's definitely a mistake. Yeah, so they mistakenly sent me 2 sets of keycap pullers and silent switches. No biggie. The form factor here almost makes me think it's a 60% keyboard, but it's just a very compact 75%, which is a little bit nauseating at first, having used the A75 Pro before I got this keyboard, and I always saw myself reaching far beyond the keyboard to reach for the F row. So like F2 for randomizing and song select in OSU, or F3 for Minecraft's debug screen, and etc. Here's my Wooting 60HE on top of the G75. It's very close, but when you put the G75 on the A75 Ultra, you can see it does save a few centimeters here and there, even though they're both 75% keyboards, making it a bit more transportable if you move around a lot. The build this time is mostly, or if not entirely, made out of plastic, but is still pretty rigid. It still has that same shock absorbing mechanism that the A75 Pro has. I've explained why this feature could be beneficial or not in my review of that keyboard, so TLDR, it's like gasket mount, but instead of just the plate mount, it's also with the rubber feet, so extra cushioning. But if you don't bottom out like 95% of the time, like I do, then this isn't noticeable. So the biggest thing that was supposed to come early with the keyboard was their Rapid Trigger Plus features in the software, named as Last Win and Released Dual Trigger, which have now turned mostly defunct due to the fact CS2 and other games prohibited the use of such features, since they were giving too much of an advantage versus someone who doesn't have a keyboard capable of doing so. I still have footage of me using said features at the time before Valve and other games banned the use of it, and it was an experience that I'm actually pretty 50-50 about. Jungle. On one hand, Last Win gives you perfect counter-strafing, provided you know how to use it and time it right when you shoot. But at the same time, you can learn how to counter-strafe on literally any other keyboard. Last Win just assists you in a way where you don't have to go through the process of learning the timing at all, which makes it pay to win in that sense. Aside from that, using the keyboard as normally intended with the regular rapid trigger and such still works perfectly for OSU. Other games, I definitely think it's cool that DrunkDeer innovated such features. Around the same time, RAESHA released Snap Tap and Wooting had SOCD, and then we had Rappy Snappy, Snappy Tappy, whatever's the difference between the two. I honestly have no idea. Before I forget, if you play OSU, do not use Last Win, Rapid Dual Trigger, or any variants of it from Wooting, RAESHA, and others, because it is considered cheating and you will get banned. There are tools to figure out if you are using it or not, so don't even think of attempting it even once. Moving on, this keyboard is also hot swappable, but it still uses the RAESHA switches that the A75 Pro had, making it only hot swappable to the silent variant of the switch. And I really like the way they had this keyboard built because it sounds more consistent and full than the A75 Pro, which had varying tones on different rows. It sounds more full compared to the A75 Pro. It's definitely more consistent per row. Here's a small typing test I did when I initially unboxed it. If you're interested in how the silent switch variant sounds like, I tested it on the A75 Pro. I've used the keyboard for quite a while now, also because this review is quite late. I don't think I have any issues from it aside from its bottom out feeling a bit too high compared to my A75 Pro / Ultra. I could get used to it, but I prefer the bottom out feel of my A75 Ultra more. Regardless, I think the keyboard feels pretty nice to play on. Here's a really good run that I got on Put Curse on You. Lastly, DrunkDeer's web-based software has gotten a facelift. Some things are still a little bit unintuitive, like having to click the rapid trigger mode area for the key sensitivity settings to show up on the right. But aside from that, functionality-wise, it's all usable. In conclusion, this keyboard is pretty inoffensive and is a great choice for a compact 75% keyboard. I think there were a few people that dislike the red and black color scheme with the silicone panel that surrounds the keyboard because you're stuck with it if you decide to change keycaps like I did. But that's only for aesthetics, so me personally, I don't care that much. I'm more for functionality now rather than aesthetics. If you're interested in buying this keyboard or anything else from DrunkDeer store, I'll leave my affiliated link down below and you can use my code zoneL at checkout for $10 off. With the link, I get a cut of the sale which helps me make more of these videos. Thanks for watching.